Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your January 2021 mid-month general reading. We are looking at the last 2 weeks of January, and this reading is for the water sign of Scorpio. Welcome everyone. I hope you're safe and well, and I hope that you had, if not a Merry Christmas and New Year's, at least a nice, soft, peaceful one. Thanks for taking the time to tune in today, and for hitting that like button and the subscribe button if you're so inclined. So this reading is for Scorpio, the water sign of Scorpio, for the last 2 weeks of January 2021. That's Scorpio sun, moon, rising. If your Venus is in Scorpio, if you're cross-watching for Scorpion, it's all relevant, but of course it's a general reading, so it's going to resonate a little differently for everyone. Watch all of your signs if you know them for additional insight. If you find that any of the readings do resonate with you and you'd like to reach out for a personal reading for yourself or the gift for anyone else, you can click on the description link below, click on that little arrow. It'll pull down some info and contact details. You'll see my email address there. Feel free to email me directly, Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to hear from you, and I can usually respond within the same day with more information. And as I do readings full time, I'm pretty diligent about scheduling personal readings in as timely a fashion as possible. I do offer a wide variety of readings, and particularly popular right now are the 6 and 12-month overviews, which give you a kind of a peek ahead at what's coming in all the main areas of life for the next 6 or 12 months, which a lot of people like to order as we're going into a new year, although you can order them any time of the year. So something else to consider, food for thought. All right, Scorpio, let's move right into this and see what the last half of January is holding for Scorpio. All right, Scorpio, we begin with the sun. Great way to begin. Followed by the devil, perhaps not so great. It's like almost like toxic overindulging, but I'm getting a strong feeling like this is ignoring something toxic. Next we have the Two of Coins, followed by the Seven of Coins, the King of Swords, with the World. From the bottom of the deck, overall energy for the last 2 weeks of January is the Page of Cups. That's an interesting card to have as the overall energy, especially considering that it looks like there is a really toxic cycle going on here. But it's being ignored, and there's some other completely different face being put on it. And it looks like somebody is considering making a choice, taking a look at everything they've invested in something, and maybe trying to make a decision as to whether or not they should leave. And trying to be very practical about it. You know, it's not that it's not emotional, but trying to look at it in a very pragmatic, realistic sort of way. But the Page of Cups is like little light messages, little light conversations. It's the Page of Water, the Page of Emotion. You know, little happy messages, little flirtations, you know, conversations which are lighthearted and cheerful and carefree kind of energy. But it feels like, and that's sort of what's on the surface here with the sun. You know, light, love, warmth, laughter, vacation, everything being uplifted and illuminated, and pressures being free and carefree. But underneath that, there's all this different energy. We have the Devil, which is a card of toxic cycles. It's a card that can represent addictions, drugs, alcohol, sex, gambling, shopping, working, negative relationships that you keep returning to over and over and over again, but they're really unhealthy. The Devil represents a negative, toxic cycle we're caught into. We keep returning to it over and over and over again, even though it's unhealthy, because we're kind of caught up in the cycle of that, which is the very nature of addiction, right? But it's under the sun. So either this is a horrible overindulgence, like you know, drinking, drugs, all of that kind of stuff. And it might be that for some of you, but I feel like for more of you, there's some kind of circular toxicity that can't be broken, that is, it just keeps going around and around and around. You can free yourself from whatever the devil represents, but it is difficult. Because there's an addiction here, there's a habit here, right? But on top of it is the sun. It's like there's some kind of negativity going on in a relationship, in a family, in a work environment, something toxic, and it feels like nobody's talking about it. It feels like they're turning their heads and ignoring it, excusing it or justifying it. But with the sun here, it's denying its existence. It's kind of like living next to a concentration camp when it was active, and saying that what's falling out of the sky are not ashes, it's snow. Maybe that's not a great example, but this is like real negativity and real toxicity that's just being blatantly, flagrantly ignored, and actually saying that it's something that it's not. And I feel like the Page of Cups is kind of like the contributor to that. What? Everything's fine. Relax. It's going to be okay. No, that's just whatever, This doesn't feel good. And so it feels like your energy here, we have the Two of Coins and the Seven of Coins. The Two of Coins, twos usually represent being at a crossroads, duality, making a choice, struggling between two things or juggling two things, which eventually you'll have to choose one, choosing a path. Trying to keep everything in the air. In other decks, the Two of Coins, the person of the Two of Coins is shown as like juggling two different things. And here you've got two coins, and you're writing on this, what do you call it? I don't remember what this is called. Is it a unicycle? No, because it's got the little small one on the back. I forget. Anyway, you're busy. This is taking all of your concentration to keep things going, to hold both of these or juggle both of these pentacles, and to write at the same time. So, it sort of feels like you're running in place to keep up almost a facade, or going along with somebody's, I've got this, but the challenge is sometimes translating what I'm feeling into cohesive thoughts. It's kind of like the emperor's new clothing, the emperor's new suit of clothing and all of that. Well, the emperor's really naked, but nobody wants to be the one to acknowledge the reality of that, because it's all been fluffed up, and so everybody's like, oh, they're beautiful, but then the one little kid in the crowd's like, but the emperor's naked, he's not wearing anything, and that's the truth, that's the reality. So that's what it feels like it's going on the surface here. Whatever this devil card represents for you, Scorpio, it's being dressed up as something else, or completely denying the existence of it. So you're just kind of trying to keep up and trying to keep things going, but underneath you're feeling this, you're seeing it, and with the Seven of Coins, you're kind of looking at everything that you have invested in this so far and trying to make decisions based on that. It's harvest time. You have all of this time, work, effort, money, love, whatever invested in this. Should you take what you can and leave? Should you continue to invest in this? Should you continue to put the work into it? Should you just give up and go and do something else? I mean, it's a card of reflection, taking inventory, taking stock, and trying to make decisions based on that. And then here we have the King of Swords and the World. Now, for some of you, the World is a card of ending. It's the last major arcana card in the tarot. This is where this part of the Fool's significant journey, the Tree of Life is all about all these different journeys we take in our growth and involvement as a human being. The Fool is the first major arcana card. He has the 0 on his card, and that's where the tarot journey starts. We end here with the World. Completion, learned all the lessons, you're saying goodbye, you're surveying a new horizon, and you're planning to start a whole new journey of new lessons. So it's a complete and total ending. Now, the King of Swords is over that. So for some of you, this might be the other person in this situation or relationship, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. For others of you, it might be your energy manifesting the energy. The King of Swords is the King of Air. Air is the element which governs the suit of swords, and it's all about psychological, mental energy, our belief systems, our ideologies, perspectives, perceptions. The King of Swords has gone through quite a lot to get to a place where he can see things very clearly. Regardless of what might be going on emotionally, his experiences have allowed him to cut right through the center of things, see the truth and reality, and make the best decisions based on that. It looks like maybe bringing things to an end and moving on. The World represents you've come to the end of something, you've gotten everything you can out of it, and you're moving on to something completely new. Because it feels like this is just too I mean, again, whatever this devil card is, Scorpio, it feels like it's being ignored, completely denied, to the point that the denial itself almost becomes a form of mental illness. That's what it feels like here. And you're taking a look at staying or leaving. What you have invested in it, is it worth, continuing or not? So I'm going to pull some advice and guidance cards. Again, it's a general reading. What this devil card represents might be different things for different people. It could be a work situation, it could be a friendship, it could be a family dynamic, it could be a romantic relationship. But whatever it is, it's being denied, really. And I think that maybe you fought it for a while and then you just got tired of fighting that which never changed, so you just decided to go along with it. But it feels like you've reached a point now where you're like, yeah, I don't know if I can really keep doing this. So let's pull some advice or guidance cards. And I'm not going to ask for stay or leave because, different people, different situations. What I am going to do is pull advice to see what Spirit thinks. What is the best thing for you to focus on? What should you focus on in order to make the best decision for yourself? What's your yardstick and your ruler that you would make the decision based on? What should you focus on in navigating through this situation and making the best choices possible? The Nine of Swords. Let's see what's behind that. The Knight of Cups in the reverse. This is what Spirit wants you to focus on in thinking about this situation, especially if you're thinking about making decisions about this situation, relationship, whatever it is. Spirit wants you to focus on first the Nine of Swords. How much are you thinking about this? Because the Nine of Swords represents obsessive thinking, constantly thinking about this, usually in a negative way. Stress, anxiety, worry, fear, insomnia, worry about an unknown future. What if this happens? What if this doesn't happen? It's so much stress. It's so much time. It's so much energy spent on this in a negative, unhealthy way. Spirit wants you to really think about how much of that you're putting into this. The Knight of Cups in reverse. In the upright position, the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Water, the Knight of Emotion. He goes charging in there, offering his love, support, encouragement. Totally idealistic, totally in love with love itself. In the reverse position, Spirit may be telling some of you that you shouldn't, maybe you've been this in the past with this situation in the upright position, always charging in there. Let me help, I'll do this, I'll fix this, I'll do that. Always wearing your heart on your sleeves. Maybe Spirit is saying it's time to stop doing that. It's time to stop doing that. Being the one to charge in, to love, to offer, to help, support, encourage, to fix. Normally beautiful qualities, but in this situation, all it's doing is enabling and perpetuating whatever this toxic cycle is. Food for thought. So Scorpio, it's kind of an intense reading for January. Scorpio, that is your reading for the last half of January. I'm not going to say I hope you enjoyed it because it was kind of an intense reading and it looks like a challenging situation. But I hope that what we saw here, what Spirit showed us here today, was useful and helpful to you. Again, if any of these readings resonate with you and you'd like to reach out, maybe take a deeper look at something, feel free to email me directly at maggie@gmail.com. You can also get that info from clicking on the description link below, clicking on that little arrow. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the February general readings. Until then, stay safe and well, be blessed, be strong, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Take care.